Is your distribution network structure appropriate for your business? And by that I mean the network of warehouses and distribution centres. Hi, this is Rob O'Byrne from Logistics Bureau, and we're out in the country here today, and I've got a very dry throat, excuse me. And I'm going to share some tips with you on things to look for in your own distribution network to make sure it's efficient and that you're not paying too much for your outbound supply chain. So, where are we? We're between Melbourne and Sydney on the Hume Highway. We've been out in country New South Wales visiting some customers, and I thought it was appropriate to talk about distribution networks because we've got loads and loads of trucks thundering up and down the highway here. Most of these are going to be running between distribution centres in Melbourne and Sydney. Excuse me slurping on this all the time, but it's 40 degrees here and it's a bit dry on the throat. Now, if we've got any safety officers watching, we are doing this video very safely. We are well back from the highway. The car's pulled into a lay-by and we're filming from behind the safety barrier. So no safety comments please below the video. Okay, distribution networks. So we've got an 800k highway here with product moving to and from Melbourne and Sydney. Same deal going up and down to Brisbane, from beyond there up to Rockhampton, across to Adelaide, across to Perth. We move product vast distances in Australia. I mean, our continent is about the size of the US if you're watching this from a different country. So why is the distribution network really important? Because running these trucks up and down the highways is darn expensive. We're moving product, thousands of kilometres at great expense to get it closer to the customer. So one of the things that we can do by ensuring that our distribution network is appropriate is to cut down the cost of all of these trucks. Now, if you're watching this from outside Australia, I've just asked Pat, who's behind the camera, to give me a thumbs up if she sees a B-double coming. For those in Australia, you know all about these, but for people in other countries, a B-double is a tractor-trailer unit that has two trailers. And it makes it really efficient on these long runs because you can carry, I think they have something like a 64-ton payload, so you can carry a lot of product. So very efficient. And if we see one coming, we'll point it out. So, what drives the shape of your distribution network? A lot of people who don't understand this, and I'll use Australia as an example because that's where we are, they think, oh, we've got to have a warehouse in Melbourne and Sydney and Brisbane and Rockhampton and Perth and Adelaide. Well, you don't necessarily. It's all driven by your customer service offer. Just think about that for a moment. The only reason you've got product in all those areas is because you need it close to your customer. What's the customer service offer that you're offering to the marketplace? If it's, order now and get it within 4 hours, yeah, you need all those distribution centres. You've got to have your stock close to the customer. If it's order today and we'll get it to you tomorrow, well, guess what? You can service most of the east coast of Australia out of Sydney. If your customers are wanting a 2-day delivery cycle, there you're starting almost into the realms of one DC for the country. Perth's always a problem, of course. But think about that if you're in Australia, if you're in other countries. The key driver of the shape of your distribution network, the number of distribution centres in the network, is the customer service offer that you're offering the market. You may have opportunities to ease that back a little bit and reduce the number of distribution centres. On the flip side, your inbound supply also is a fairly critical component of that. It doesn't have as much impact, Pat's just saying there's a B-double going past on the other side. It doesn't have as much impact as customer service, but almost think of supply service. It's the same sort of principle. How quickly can we get product into our distribution centres? That can determine on the inbound side where those distribution centres are going to go. But primarily driven, there's another B-double, good advert for Linfox delivering to Coles. Primarily driven by your customer service offer. And if you can ease that back, you'll have less distribution centres, less inventory in your network. So think about your own distribution network. If you've got too many warehouses, what's driving that? Is it the customer service offer? And can you reduce the amount of product that's thundering up and down these highways and costing you a lot of money.